What do you think of Murphy tomorrow?
What do I think of him?
Yeah, how do you think he'll do?
Well, I think he'll bounce back. I mean, he's going to face one of the toughest offenses in Division I baseball in Texas Tech, and I felt that way when we played him the one game on a Tuesday, and we won. The first inning didn't look good for us. We got out of a jam and then settled in, scored some runs, and held them down a little bit. But their offense is it's loaded with really strong type hitters, guys that can hit the ball over your head, and a couple guys that can really run. So he's going to have to pitch extremely well. We'll try to make sure that we've got guys ready in the bullpen because I feel like it's going to take 4 or 5 guys to try to handle them.
How different is this Texas Tech team, obviously, like Texas was since you played them last?
I thought they were really good the first time we played them, and then they went into a little bit of a slump. They were winning the Big 12, or right there to win at them in Oklahoma State, I think, and then they had a couple of weekends when it didn't go well, and Texas got hot and swept a couple people, but as far as talent-wise, and you look at the preseason projections and polls, they were in the top 3 in most every poll. So they're exactly where I thought they would be in Omaha with a great team. They were a team last year that got upset in their own regional, and I'm sure that helped motivate them to get here this year. But they're definitely one of the best teams in the country.
Does it help having played them before?
I think it helps a little bit because you kind of know what you're getting into. You can watch a team on TV or from the stands, but when you're on the field with them and you watch them take pregame and hit and just see the ball come off their bat, it gives you a little better idea what you're getting into. So I would say that it does help some.
To do what they did against Singer last night, you and them are the only 2 beat Singer this year.
Yes, to me it looked like Singer didn't have his breaking ball going like normal, and once they had seen him a couple of times. That third time through, they got him pretty good. And, Singer's a great pitcher, thrown a lot of innings this year. Probably getting a little bit tired. That's what you see a lot of times. You get to the 5th and 6th inning. A month and a half ago, 2 months ago, they might have thrown that way in the 8th inning, and now they're losing a little bit, and they jumped all over him, got all those hits in a row. But they saw him pretty good. It looked throughout the game. They just missed some pitches and finally put together a bunch of good at-bats.
Hey, Dave, their pitching plan, their first guy went short and then the next guy. Have they been doing that the last few weeks, and what do you anticipate tomorrow?
Yeah, I don't know how they'll run it tomorrow. I think it'd be more of a starter. The lefty's coming off some injuries, so they're just throwing him out there to try to get him through a couple innings. They probably have him on a pitch count, and the right-hander they brought in, I guess he likes not starting the game, from what I've heard, and I think he threw 70-some pitches, and they like their bullpen, so that's what they're comfortable with. But I would think that tomorrow, and we'll find out later today, I'm sure that they're probably going to go with a pitcher that's pretty much starts and tries to give him as many as he can.
You didn't have to use 2 guys. Lowski, I'm sure, can come back tomorrow if you need him, but just having this extra day to kind of get that rest.
Yeah, we didn't throw Reindl or Cronin. Obviously Murphy will be ready to roll, and anybody else. Anybody else. You don't. A lot of times you're not just going to save a starter if you feel like you can win a game. To get to where we're trying to get. So, pretty good shape after the first day. And bottom line, we just needed to win the game, and then kind of see what you got and try to line it up as best we can. And not your typical team we're facing. This team is very offensive.
Both teams are. So
yeah. Yeah, both teams are offensive. We kind of are the same type of team when you really break it down. And, a lot of times when you see 2 teams like this going at it, you project a high-scoring game, and sometimes you just get the opposite. But, it's one game. Anything can happen, and they know us, and we know them a little bit, and, it'll be a good game.
Hey, Coach, I know you already reflected on it, but the 6th inning explosion there yesterday, you guys had so many singles. What about just the way you guys put it together offensively?
Well, I really liked singles. Singles make for big innings, but to have a big inning like that, you have to draw some walks, or they have to make an error too. That's how you put up the so-called crooked number. And I thought Grant Cook's bunting and then laying off some low pitches and then let him hit, and he took ball 4 on a ball that was 2 or 3 pitches low, and a lot of times you swing at that that was huge. That loaded the bases up with no outs. And I think about Eric Cole's walk, and he battled and battled. He fouled a pitch off that was probably 6 inches outside with 2 strikes, and then I think he fouled 2 more off, and then he finally walked in a run, and then the rain came, or so-called rain and lightning. And it just, we punched in a couple of runs right there, and, then we got the hits, some singles all over the field. It was just a really good inning.
How about just the attitude of this team? I mean, not to say they weren't happy to win last night, but it seems like there's a business-like attitude with this.
Yeah, it's a loose business-like attitude. It's been good. I think that they know how special it is to be here and how hard it is to win, but at the same time, we talk to them about enjoying it here and remembering all that goes on, so down the road you can look back and say what a great experience, and we're going to do everything we can to win, but at the same time we want them to enjoy it and feel like all the time they put in and fighting through all those regionals and road trips we took, and and they didn't go good, a lot of them, and make it all worth it to them. He pitched great that day. He struck out a lot of hitters. We had the lead, and we're in between conference series just like them. We were just looking for somebody to step it up, and he did it. And to me, that's really where I think everybody gained a lot of confidence in him. He's always been confident, but it was the coaches, we saw what he could do, the players saw what he could do, and that's what we thought he could do. And not necessarily strike out that many hitters, but just be one of our main guys. And ever since then, he's helped solidify our pitching staff.
What makes this the place you like to come to practice? It's been that way every time you go.
Practice here?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. We just kind of get lined up wherever's open, and sometimes Creighton's open, and here, and we practice all over the place. But they're always real friendly here. We got the Gatorade lady over there that, she seems to be here every year, and she just wants an autographed ball, and we can have all the great Gatorade we want. So, little things like that. Do what?
Was he recruited by Harp?
Yeah, he was recruited. Yeah.
And what do you comment on his performance last night?
I think he's got really good stuff. He's increased his velocity. If the 92-93 threw a couple of times is correct, in high school he was more of an upper 80s pitcher with a good breaking ball and really knew how to pitch for his age. And, it's like he slid by. We had him in the office. We talked to him, and he went on a visit there, and they offered him pretty good. And we made him an offer, but it wasn't what he was looking for. It's been a good fit for him. Obviously, I would love to have him. I wish we had him, but, we don't. And, there's a couple kids in the state right now I was hoping to get too. But, when they got an uncle that went to one school and he's the one telling you what to do. I could go on and on. There's a lot of stories behind recruiting. But with Harpino, he's just a guy that got away. And I'm happy for him. I'm glad he's had a lot of success.
Going back to enjoying the experience here, what's the plan for embracing the rest of the off day for the guys?
Well, today's going to be a day to basically just kind of get our feet back underneath us. If you look at yesterday, I think we were at the ballpark 10, 11, 12 hours. We left the hotel at 10, and I think we got home at, 8:30 or so. It was a long day, and that's why today's practice was more of let's just get them up, and they eat breakfast, come out, stretch, mess around a little bit. Nothing intense at all, just hit, have some fun. We didn't even take ground balls, and they'll go back to the hotel, and hopefully they'll take a shower, and then they'll go run around and just relax and have a curfew tonight. This is their night to go do it.
You look at the forecast for the week, you roll your eyes a little bit.
Yeah, it's normal. 99 one day, 83 the next. What do you expect? It all depends on which way the wind's blowing, and Fayetteville's kind of the same way. It's if the wind's out of the south, it's probably going to be pretty hot, and if it's out of the west, northwest, it's going to cool down a lot, and that's what we're going to get over the next 4 or 5 days. But there is some good chances of rain and thunderstorms and tornadoes and everything else because we're in the Midwest.
Think about what Jared Gates has added to the bottom of your order in the last 4 weeks or so.
It's been huge. That's the guy that has helped lengthen our lineup. He's been an incredibly tough out. He's very confident and brings a lot of defense to first base and just a lot of toughness. And I could say if you talk about 2 or 3 of them guys, probably wouldn't be here without him. I mean, the guy's gotten big hit after big hit, started rallies. Even though he's not a runner, he scored some runs for us, and it's been huge.
We touched on his defense, but he had a couple of plays in the regional. I think at the DBU game that probably really helped you guys out.
Yeah.
Late in that game when they had the tying run on.
Yeah, I mean, he's done a tremendous job with his glove. We recruited him. He was second baseman in junior college. But we knew that, the speed of the game, he might not be able to play second with us. We played him a little bit there. We thought he could play a little third, and he showed he can do it. His arm's a little better than we thought once we got him here. And then at the same time, we thought, it's all about his bat. We needed a mature bat, an older bat, somebody with some at-bats at the college level under his belt, and that's what he had. And he's, he got off to a great start this past fall, got off to a great start in the spring, and then he got hurt and went into a slump, in and out of the lineup, and finally the light came on. I think he relaxed in May, and here we are.
Good job. Right across the river.
Right across the river.
Have you sensed an excitement about him coming back up here?
Yeah,
because of that?
Yeah, he's very, very familiar with this area. Going to the tournament a little bit, seeing some friends play in it, and just glad that he's getting this experience.
The job that Wes does with pitchers,
Yeah.
he goes out, whether it's chewing them out or he's got his way of getting those guys.
It's been outstanding, second to none, obviously, in my opinion. I think, he's done a great job with this pitching staff, and you can say we have all kinds of talent, but we have good talent, but he maxes it out, and that's what good coaches do. Whatever you have, you get the best out of them, and he's gotten the best out of every pitcher on the staff for the most part, and they respect him, they love him. He can be hard on them, and they're okay with it because he knows that the players know that Wes cares about him. So whenever you get after somebody, just as long as they know that you have their back and that you give a darn about them, they're gonna compete and they're gonna take it. Okay.
Thanks, Coach.